Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Me and Lynn are on the panel. Raven is expected. We'll see, right? Hey Lynn,
Hi, how are you doing?
pretty good. How did you
That
whoa,
didn't help.
bright light.
There we go. That's better.
How did you like the first part of the show, my solo?
I thought it was pretty good. It's something that we've known about for a long time is psionics,
Hmm.
and you know, it makes only sense that they would be using that to kind of cool out some of the anxiety.
Right, something pop culture-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of pop culture stuff talking about like the X-Men. I mentioned
Oh
that,
yeah. There's a lot
and
of sci-fi right now, and
oh yeah.
sci-fi is a tremendous predictor of what's about to happen.
Yep, and I really liked Raven didn't care for it too much, but I I really liked the fact that I said, "Let's give AI access to the quantum computer and have them guide disclosure." And it's like Raven's like, "Oh, hell
No,
no."
hell no.
I'm
And Anne
all for
doesn't
that.
like it either.
I like it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the chat. Aussie Tiger, Samo, GUFON, and Rockstar. We got Renee. I know other Human Jim. I know other people are in here. Uh, Jim, I think it was a pretty good first hour. If you get a chance, listen. It's all audio except for the Doritos commercial because I played the newest UFO Doritos commercial without sound, but there was zero dialogue in it anyway. It was only sound effects. Um,
Well, then it wouldn't make any difference.
right, just dramatic effect, and it was funny. It was funny. It was a funny commercial.
I didn't get to see that part. I was kind of in and out and back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just my show. That's all of us. I was too. I don't know. I don't remember a whole thing.
Did you attend? You Oh, that's terrific. I love those T-shirts. Those are fucking fabulous.
I like them too. That's the first run. It's gonna be like the see how it goes run, and so far it's gone pretty good. Long shipping time because they had to come to me first, and I had to make sure they were good. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And they were good. So I'll go back to the same guy. He's in California, I think, and then drop ship and see if they could put something on the sleeve, like a logo or something.
Ooh.
And then the
Oh,
same
like the
graphic.
spaceman.
I this one?
The one up here, in the corner, the quantum
Yeah,
show.
I might do that. I
Maybe
might
something
do
like that.
yeah, I might do that, but I have to redo it because
Did
that is
Who did the
literally
artwork? That's what I want to know.
right. I gotta redo it. I tried to get one person to redo it, but she kind of was flaky and she made it totally Halo. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm not trying to get sued by Microsoft, okay?
And from what I see there, it's more of a cartoony sort of thing.
Right. That's what I want to have, but I have to
Uh-huh.
redo it. I mean, it's great for making stickers and all to
Right.
hand out to people, but it's not good for like trying to mainstream myself, have merch and whatever.
Right.
It, it's good for first person arts and craftsy type things, but I don't want to put it on the market with somebody else's creation on it, you
Yeah,
know.
I understand that. That just leaves you open for a whole lot of crap later.
Right, I don't need that. I've already
Uh-uh.
been through that with the 3D printing. And no, I'm not looking for a logo. I have you see the logo on the show screen. I want to use
Right.
something like that, but cartoonified and just a slightly different enough to make it not look just like Master Chief and
Ah,
uh with the lettering done a little bit differently. It can be arts and craftsy, but I'm not looking for a logo. I've got logos. I just need to tweak it up a little bit. And I try to go with an artist. That person could not get it. She didn't get it, right? She's
Hmm.
Master Chief,
She
and
had her own agenda in there somewhere.
well, she didn't understand what I was going for, and that's fine. She moved on to bigger and better things. She's doing um she's doing her own artwork, artsy fartsy stuff on the Transformers front. And
Ah,
alien robots, hell yeah, I'm all for that. But I don't want to bring them here because, well, proprietary stuff, you know.
right.
And yes, maybe, but I want this to be my guy. See the story behind my logo guy. That's this one right here, right?
Right.
The story behind this guy is he is a void person. He's our person that goes into the void. Hence the flat black on the silver. All the paint's been scrubbed off of him except for the protective bodysuit. It's all my own sci-fi, right? There's a lot of
Okay.
science fiction, right? I've got a few versions of him sitting right there, and I really like it. That's why I made him my logo because it's my own take on stuff. Um, but I'm not looking for a logo. I've got my logo, but I got to retool it, so to speak. And yeah. But you were saying the psionics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been on that Astro train for a long time. The grassroots people know what's up, but we don't have, I don't
We've
know.
been experimenting with this stuff since the 60s and 70s,
Yeah.
you
And
know, and maybe before, I don't know, but I know for certain that they were doing it during the 70s.
oh yeah, that's the I want to say American experimentation.
Right.
And but I know that Aboriginal people and natives and uncontacted tribes have their own contact going on. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
use ritual. They
Right.
use mind altering things. They always have.
Well,
And
I don't know. You know, some of them, really depends on the kind of ritual. I mean, I would expect that one ritual requires a type of mushroom, shall we say, and another ritual
mushrooms, yeah.
requires maybe a fungi of another sort.
Right.
You know,
Something to
because
unlock something brain related.
yeah, it's a matter of what kind of medicine are they using, and
Right.
they call it medicine. You know,
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my ex's father, and my ex's father was a first son of a Indian shaman. Okay, and the first son is the one who's taught. Well, my father-in-law's first son passed away, and he refused to teach anyone else
Mm.
because the first son was lost. But he actually, I had a wart on one hand, and he goes, "Can I buy your wart?" And I said, "Beg your pardon." You know, he said, "Yeah, I'll buy your wart from you. How much you want?" I said, I don't know. I'm, you know, kind of flabbergasted here." And he said, "All right, I'll give you a quarter." Quarter enough? He said, "Well, it's enough for me." And he handed me a quarter. He says, "Put this under your pillow tonight. Tomorrow I'll have your wart." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Next morning, I went over to his place as I had some things that I had to deliver there. And I realized that wart was gone. And he showed me, and it was on his hand.
Whoa.
Whoa, what magic,
That
eh?
is some
That's some
that's
powerful mojo.
yeah, that's some deep magic right there.
It was. And oh, he taught me a couple of little things. But you know, the shaman was the tribe's doctor. And he was in charge of getting rid of illness, evil spirits, what have you. And we've lost that connection to spirit in our medicine. It's part of the reason why I think people don't make it very well. Now, does that
Mhm.
mean we never die? Well, of course we do. Something's going to take us. But, if it's not your time and it can be handled with a bit of medication, what the hell? You know,
Yeah.
but he was amazing. I mean, I'd had a dog that had gone lame, couldn't figure it out, looked for splinters, looked for a problem. He passed his hand over the dog's leg once. He goes, "Ah, you've broken your leg, my friend." I'm like, "Okay." Now by then, I knew that the old man was doing. He knew what he was doing, and he goes, "Let me have him for a day." I said, "What are you going to do to him?" He says, "I'm going to heal the break." And I may I watch? I guess, nosy little woman, you know. And he by next day, dog was fine. There was no lameness to him, and I pretty much figured that break was taken care of. Was that leg was bad. I'm not kidding. He had a problem. And next day, all done. And I watched him do a series of wraps of herbs, things I would have no clue about. He wouldn't tell me what they were.
Hmm.
And he let me watch, but he didn't teach me very much because, well, it's against his code.
Right.
So
Oh
things
yeah.
that involve me, he would help me with. He'd tell me what to do with. But if it didn't, I may as well run along, little girl.
Yeah.
You're quite a character, that one.
Yeah. Aussie is saying what I should have said in the beginning of the show. Like and subscribe, share. If you're here, you're quantum. Thank you, Aussie. Aussie has always got my back. Let me tell you.
Huh.
I forget all these administrative things,
Well,
and
he's got a firm eye on the clock and everything, on the coffee cup, and what would we do without him?
yeah. Hey, what? And the question for everybody, right? Do y'all like this shirt? This is a robot shirt I just got on Amazon, right? I could drop ship these from Amazon. I like this one. I like it.
I
It's a
like that
humanoid,
very much.
yeah, humanoid robot, right? And it's got all kinds of. Let me just get a little bit closer so y'all can see the graphic.
I like that very much. I think you ought to do your quantum logo similarly.
Okay, well, I was thinking this print in particular, you can buy it on Amazon, but it's like unbranded. And
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, what if I could brand it? You know, it would be
Well,
a
it might
neat thing.
say it's unbranded, but I'll tell you what. Uh, young man that I knew a few years ago had gone into a particular type of t-shirt. He branded it, he copyrighted it. It was still
Mhm.
stolen.
Oh, I'm not worried about people stealing the logo.
So what I mean, someone stole the logo, stole the print, and was passing it off for their own. You want to make sure you don't.
Oh, there's no avoiding that. The defense for that is throw lawyers at it, and they all charge so much. I'm not a
Right.
corporation. So if somebody wants to steal my logo, they're really scraping for something to steal, okay? Like for real. I mean, to be honest, all right, I am like fringe of the fringe. Our whole audience is here now. And
Yeah.
So if anybody is gonna steal my logo stuff, they got they got more problems than that. I can report them. I can tell Amazon or Coffee, whatever. But to be totally honest, if anybody's gonna
Jump up
steal,
and down and scream. Oh yeah.
right? I
Like
found
that if that's gonna make a hoot and howl.
right.
You
I
know.
I I still carry around this. Monty will remember this. I carry around this. Years back, I made a run of these. Yeah, I've been doing this kind of crap for a while. Fanboy stuff.
Uh-huh.
I made a run of these. I've showed it here before. It's a patch, and it's
Those are fun.
404 Legion, right?
Uh-huh.
And I made a run of these patches. I did a run of 100, and I sold them, and it was great. I did it for no profit, like I'm going to do these 10 shirts. And well, someone stole the logo. Just did exactly what you're describing. Started a Shopify store, which is, by the way, mostly scam artists.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yeah,
That's
like the
why I
error.
won't even go anywhere near those.
Yeah, he took all the logos, all the including that one,
Uh-huh.
including the patches, and he sold them under his own name. And I reported him, and I went now. This dude has now it was international, so that's a different thing, right? There's
Right.
treaties involved. So
Ooh.
that is based in UK. Now, I had permission. So I went to the leader of the group. It's a cosplay group. I went to the leader. I'm like, "Hey, could I make patches?" And he gave me full permission. Written, okay? It's
Yeah.
email, right?
Yeah.
And I had permission. So I did it on Etsy. And I did, verification, tell me
Yeah.
your username,
This
so you
is
got
still pretty reliable. Uh there are some others that do some local shipping, for an extra price. And those guys I'd watch pretty carefully.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be drop shipping from Coffee and Amazon.
Yeah.
So though the reason I'm doing it for those guys the reason I'm doing it for those guys is because I have another light. My light just went out. I don't know if you could tell or not. Is because there comes with security, the
Uh,
purchase security, the shipping tracking. It comes with all of that. So I don't have to
yeah.
do that manually. That's a big hard thing to manage, right?
It is. I've done drop shipping and making sure that the individual that's buying is for real.
Right.
Are they
The one
buying?
that's
Are they
buying, the
gonna
one that's selling, the ones that's taking it across,
everything else?
Amazon, they take care of all that stuff
Yeah.
for you. It's already built in. They
Well,
want you
or try it, or turn around and cancel the charge. You know what I'm saying?
right, keep the
And
item, get the money, right, that kinda stuff. Well, I get protection when I use Amazon and PayPal and Coffee and all that stuff. And
sure,
Jim is saying, like the error because of the 404 logo. Yeah, like the error. My it's just
or
like
more like information.
well, the logo for the cosplay group, the patch, right?
Uh
It
huh.
was yeah, it was Legion Not Found, and I came up with a whole big backstory for it. It was so cool, right?
That's fun.
It was so cool. They were real quick. It is a fun story, right? It's a Star Wars group, and we mainly do Star Wars, but any cosplay is welcome. But it's a Star Wars group, and I do clones, so I come from the Clone Wars aspect of things, right? And it was 404 Legion was a supply unit. Okay, they were not frontline, they were support supplies, and they went into hyperspace, hit something that knocked them off course, and they ended up in a nebula.
Oh boy.
And they couldn't get a message out. They couldn't tune their engines up to where they needed to get out. So they just hunkered down and did what they did best, be a supply chain, right? Be
Uh,
an office. And we had all kinds of characters pop up. Like I came up with safety. I drew from what I know, right? And ex-military, they drilled a lot of safety procedures into us. So I came up with safety clone, right? He wore armor. His helmet was a hard hat. He had, instead of like weapons hanging off him, he had all these little cones, and he walked around without a blaster. He had a checklist of, making sure everybody was doing safe things on base, and it was fun. It was safety clone. I've got the helmet somewhere around here, but I didn't waterproof it, so the print it ran. It looks like it's bleeding on the front, down the face. I'm like, oh man, but that's okay. But yeah, Legion not found, right? And that's the backstory for my personal backstory, how the 404th got to do what they were doing.
Okay.
Lost in a nebula.
I swallowed
Hmm.
my water backwards.
No, that's
That's
not
not a good thing to do. I should give it up.
right.
So anyway,
But yeah, the whole thing going on with
oh yeah, you had that all thought out and worked out, didn't you?
I thought it was nice.
Oh, it's
These
great. It's
research
great.
shows, I don't play a bunch of videos. I talk about it and I leave links. You got to be diehard to go look at those links and pause my video to look at, and that's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And
But you can always go back and do it.
yeah, I could. Well, I need somebody that knows more about this stuff than I do to like work on the show, like be a director, basically. I don't know how to do a lot of that linking videos and bringing videos in and playing them online. The countdown is built into the platform,
That
right?
that was cool. I like that very much.
I liked it too. It kind of built up my suspense a little bit. Um,
I think you know what's going to happen. I hope you do. There are two of us that don't know what's going on.
it's it's a neat little audience thing,
Oh, I like it.
down. It's built in. I liked it. I was like, let's use it. Why not? And it worked out nice. And but yeah, this this stuff with Ross Coulthart, right? Link in description. Go to Amy's channel. It's on there, right?
Right.
And if you look up, I can't remember that dude's name, the guy with the crazy eyes, but he was talking about he was a helicopter pilot, and I can show a still, right? Let me get
Crazy eyes.
yeah, yeah. He's
Gee.
a whistleblower. Um,
Is he planted whistleblower or is he the real deal?
I think he might be the real deal, but
Because crazy
again,
eyes, you might very well be the real deal.
he's
Hear
scripted.
enough nonsense.
He wouldn't be going on this guy, right?
Yeah.
Let me get this picture up
He's
here.
told what he can say and what he can't.
Yeah,
That would make me crazy too.
yeah. Okay. Jake Barber. He was in the Air Force and he was a helicopter pilot.
Well, he has enough discipline to be able to handle a few boundaries here and there.
Yeah, I got to do this the long way, of course, because YouTube connection problems. Of course, I got to do it the way.
Wow, what do you think of that TikTok business? That's going to put a lot of people into other venues.
Yep, and they are chasing us into other people's stuff. That's what's going on. We already got
Chasing us?
Facebook and Instagram. It's guided. They're
Okay,
what,
Raven, we're just waiting for you, honey.
this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
Jake
Yeah,
Barber.
his eyes.
Yeah,
He's seen one too many things in his life, hasn't he?
well, he might have been in the motor pool a lot. Those exhaust fumes get to you after a while. And really, I've been there. Okay, now that's him. Now I'm looking for a picture of the
You
UFO.
know,
Huh?
I sometimes can read auras in pictures, and he looks like scared dude.
Well,
He really does.
well, he's definitely worried about it. Let me see. Alien egg. Ugh. There was a video that they played, and it was from the perspective of the helicopter pilot, so it was literally straight down, right?
Oh wow.
And it showed a night vision video. I can't seem to find. I'm gonna have to.
What's a show?
Hmm?
What does it show?
It it shows. Let me see here.
A UFO straight down,
No, it
or
shows like there. It doesn't show a UFO as we understand it. It
uh-huh.
shows um them hooking a rope and a harness to an egg shape, which is really big.
Huh.
That's all it shows.
Oh, and there everyone's wondering what that egg shape was, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mork and Mindy jokes in the chat.
Yeah.
Lots of Mork and Mindy jokes.
The alien pops out there. No, no,
Oh,
no,
Keith
no.
is on right now. Hey, Keith, shout out Keith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see.
Storm's running his show right now, and uh he's had some he's been prosperous with this little change for himself, you know? He's getting a few more people in and a little more diversity. So
Hmm.
it's been interesting. The of course, occasionally you'll get somebody in there that wants to throw out their own agenda, but Storm handles that.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm looking for this thing. The
Yeah, but it was the Enron egg, is
no,
what Samo was saying.
no, no.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's it. Okay, here we go. I got a. I can get a still going, but I can't. I'm not going to try to play News Nation. That would for sure get me kicked off of YouTube. Go to Rumble, people. Link in the description. Okay. Uh, got it. Let me just share the screen here, and I'm just going to share. It's video, but I'm not going to play the video.
Okay. What are
Oh,
we doing?
hold on.
I'm gonna just pop that up, look for myself a little. Aha!
Okay. Now, what you're looking at is a still of a rope from the bottom of a helicopter going down to a harness on an egg-shaped something they're hauling. They're letting it down here. I
Huh.
can't play video. Don't Sorry, I can't play any video. But that egg shape is at the bottom of the harness. It's being let down slowly. There's a helicopter, and you're looking at night vision. Okay, so that's what that is. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead. I've already put the link in the description, I believe. Let me do that. And if not, I'll put the link in right now in the chat right now, so people can, if they want to go see it, they can go see it.
So this is sort of an unknown object other than its shape.
Right. The guy was saying it is a ship. Okay. Now that is in the chat right now. And YouTube
Okay.
people can go click on that. That is from earlier today. And what is that exactly? Who but that is News Nation's link, right?
So they're
Amy did this.
collecting a ship onto a large helicopter, I would assume.
Oh, no, they already collected it, they hooked it up, now they're putting it somewhere. That's what we're
Okay.
seeing, the landing. I can't play the video, it shows
How
roll.
big was the helicopter that collected it?
I'm not sure.
Big enough, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The egg was described as the size of a small car, so think Hyundai sized, right? And
Yeah, Samo says its shadow looks like a disc on its side,
right,
standing up.
it's
That's
not
what.
well, when you look at the video, you see it when they set it down, it's on an uneven surface and it rolls. The guy can really sell that sizzle. Ross Coulthart was saying, "Look how graceful it rolls." As I'm like, "Give me a break! Everything rolls when it's on a hill. Look, look
I
how great.
roll one, and believe me, it's not graceful.
Look,
You know.
watch how graceful the solder rolls. It's so graceful. It's just so graceful. Look at it. It's so graceful as it rolls. Who would have thought this
Since he's
alien
just trying
technology
to
would
use his
would roll?
English, he's just trying to use his English
Yeah, and have you
uh
ever heard Ross Coulthart?
diploma, you know?
Have no,
No,
have
I
you ever
haven't, but that
okay,
from the sounds of it, I probably have choked him by now.
you know, you to go listen to him. He sounds like he's an Australian hobbit, okay? He just does, and it like he's like selling fish in a market, and this is what you want your fish guy to sell like,
Uh-huh.
sound like.
Yeah.
It is like, "Oh my, will you stop, please?" Selling that sizzle. Yeah, and Samo said, "If it's round, it's gonna roll." Yeah. Yeah, yep. I think I demonstrated. I've got a bunch of round stuff here if we need it now.
So
It
he's very good at stating the obvious. Is that about right?
oh, yeah. Look at it's that a particular Australian accent. It's not like Aussie Tiger, right? It's not like the people we talk to here.
Yeah.
It's like this he's from an office building or something. He's a mainstream media over there as far as I'm aware. If Aussie would pipe in and say if he is or isn't, that would be great. Aussie Tiger, you're up. Aussie Tiger looking for you.
And he comes on, now what have I done?
I wanna know, are you familiar with Ross Coulthart? And yeah, he pours it on thick, man. He pours it on so thick. It's like if you're selling fish in a market, you want Ross Coulthart.
Those eyes are nice and sparkling, and the scales are just so, and
Yeah,
the
is
iridescence is
right, but
fabulous.
you gotta say it like the
I'm not gonna
Australian
even
Rob.
try. I can't even do an American accent properly. You know,
Let me I'm gonna get a
I'm
picture of Ross
American.
Coulthart up here.
I'm afraid Aussie would never speak to me again if I tried to do an Australian accent. Monty probably kill me just for just in giggles, you know. Of course, Monty's Welsh, but like I say, it would sound terrible. Believe me.
This is the guy. This is him right there. Doesn't he look like he would sell the best fish? He
I
looks
don't
like
know about fish, maybe mattresses or pillows or something.
there you go. There you go. He looks like he would sell the best something that you could ever lay your head on, put in your mouth, ride across the
T-
desert.
TV infomercials. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the guy, right?
They're probably gonna get it for defamation over here. You know?
Oh, mhm. I am saying very little compared to other people. I am not saying nothing,
Oh no, we're not gonna. Let's just don't kick him around too much so he notices us.
right? I'm not,
I think Aussie may have gone to get coffee or something.
Oh, they said
Did he
something.
offer? Did he get
Yeah, he
back?
said, let me get it. I'm saving the picture for notes later. Um, just he sounds like an Aussie. I don't know. I've had Aussies in here and they don't sound like him. He sounds like the smoothest guy. Okay. He's like the smooth. Yeah, there you go. Welcome back, Scream Engine.
Golf clubs
Oh,
or yacht salesman.
right. Like you can't live your
Oh,
life without these. Like here in
all that.
America, we just yell at you. Here in the United States, we just yell at you, right? To buy
Yeah,
stuff. Look at every, oh my God, toilet paper, car dealer, restaurant. They all just yell. They don't have
but
any
it
style.
gets Storm to do his madman advertiser voice. Oh my God.
I've heard that. I heard the commercial.
Oh my God. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. He sounds, this guy, Coltart, he has got the
He has
suave.
English tones in some of his words.
Yeah.
See
And
what I mean? It's abysmal.
but yeah, but he was talking, and this guy, James Bob, whatever his name is, I'm sorry, what
Oh,
Jake
gee.
Jake Barber.
Yeah, yeah. You said it, and then I promptly forgot it. That's
Uh,
how memorable all of
I
that.
take notes.
All he is, you know.
I take notes, and
I haven't.
um, yeah, the Jake Barber is the new whistleblower from the military. Why does okay? It seems like you have to be credentialized to be a witness and be believed, right? You have to be a professional. You have to be in the military. You have to be like Bob Lazar or this that Jake
Barber.
Barber or Lou Elizondo. Welcome
In
back
other
to
words,
the show, Lou.
vetted, and paid off.
Right,
Or
they're
did I say that? Should I have said that? Mm.
well, they're scripted, and Jake Barber, I'm sure he means well. He looks like a stand-up dude, but he is being told what to say. Okay, he's being
He looks
told
terrified, and
you
I'm
can
not
say
kidding.
this, you can't say this. You can show this, you can't show this. And
He
well,
looks traumatized, is what he looks.
yeah, well, we all after the military, that's just
Well, yeah,
yeah.
but I'm not sitting here going, "Ooh," you know, like, "Holy shit, I can't see the prompt card," you know?
Oh, Scream Engine saying this must be a nickname, Bunker Bob Coldheart. Yeah,
Well, that's terrific. I like that.
what did I say in the first hour? It feels like rough silk, like
What does?
like Ross Coulter's delivery. I he
Rough
is
silk?
rough silk, like rough but silky at the same time. And yeah,
Oh, he
he
uses Vaseline.
uh, verbal Vaseline for sure.
Did I say I was a terrific amount of cold medicine?
Oh no. Well,
Oh
dis-
my god, right?
not disclosure, but disclaimer. Disclosure disclaimer.
Oh my god. He did screaming engine says he's playing, but I'm not. I'm not kidding.
Oh, this is correct. He is a uh-huh. Uh-huh. He is of all the people that are paid off, he is their mouthpiece. He sounds like what's that? Welcome to the lifestyles of the rich and famous dude. Oh my god.
Rich and shameless.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Robin something or other.
Yeah, that guy. He sounds like that, except he's all in your face and he has this the dramatic
Well,
pose.
you screw with me, I'll sick 'em on you. All right.
All those dramatic
Oh
poses.
my God, Nathan, if you need to put me off of here, I would totally understand. I have no filter on my mouth tonight.
Well, it's okay. Robin Leach. Thanks,
That's
Scream.
it. That's it. Yes. Thank
By the
you.
way, shout out Scream Engine. He followed me from the Atari age from a long time ago, and has found us.
Atari 2600. I saw that. That was great.
He followed me from a long time ago. Shout out! I love that name, Scream Engine. Love that name. But yeah, yeah. The disclosure effort is for the Muggles because we don't want heads to explode. We don't want rioting in the streets, but we're not ready for it yet. I mean, we're
I
just
don't know there'd be rioting in the streets. I mean, no.
well,
You'd have to be more motivated, this crowd is. And, do you ever try to get anybody off of their Game Boy when they've got a winning streak? It ain't happening.
yeah.
Much
But
less rioting in the streets.
what I mean by rioting in the streets, that's not the right phrase. That's not the right phrase.
You
But
mean hiding under the bed?
the the groups that say aliens or demons, those guys, they're all gonna band together in their fear,
They'll
and it's
hide
not.
out in a church and have a gun out of each stained glass window.
Yeah, well, right. And welcome back, Raven.
Hi.
Hey, Raven,
Hey, hey, how you doing?
you're
Let me
looking great.
phone a little bit.
Thank you. So I've been listening to you guys, and I missed the event this afternoon. I had watched GUFON earlier in the day, and he was like, "Yeah, this is going to be a big nothing burger," and played some clips and stuff. And so I had to go to the store anyway, and so I left and went to the store. So then I come back, and now everybody's talking about it, and like, oh, what did I miss?
What did I miss? I don't know what you're talking about.
The
Link
disclosure thing, huh?
The what?
Link is in the description
Yeah.
and in the
Okay.
chat.
I
News
know.
Nate.
I'm just clueless. I have been on cold medicine.
Oh, I thought
for 2
you guys.
days.
Okay, well, I'm confused. I'm confused because I thought.
Watched it. I watched it with Amy. Amy was showing it through someone else.
We're talking about the round cylinder shaped thingy, right?
Egg shape.
Egg shaped, or it rolls down hills. I don't know.
Yeah. And Ross Coulthart saying, "Look how gracefully it rolls." And I'm like, "Look how gracefully." And I did my little demo of.
I could
Look
have
how
rolled down the
gracefully.
hill and been
Look
graceful.
how gracefully it rolls. It's so graceful it rolls.
Okay.
Right before I broke my legs. You know?
This is man-made. It's
I'm
not
sorry,
graceful at
Nathan.
all.
I
It just
can't help
wiggles
it.
around.
I should never take cold medicine. Sure.
The alien tech, it rolls so gracefully. Oh, look at it rolling around. Give me a break, Ross Coulthart. Yeah, he delivers the news.
So it was
back
another
off.
flop, right?
Huh?
It was another flop.
No, it was a good show, but it was, you know what? You watch Gaius type stuff, right? It was very structured like that. Everything is scripted. There was no
They were told what to say
right.
entirely.
There's no aha moments. There's no mind blowing anything about it except the picture of it hanging from a helicopter, right?
Oh, you better read what Human Jim just wrote. That's terrific.
Right. Behold the majestic tape. Let me try.
Can I do it?
That's
No,
funny.
I'm gonna try this. Behold the majestic tape as it rolls down the plastic plateau in its natural environment. No, that was horrible.
Behold the majestic tape as it rolls down the plastic plateau in its natural environment.
Oh, I like yours. Can I try?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Behold the magic tape as it rose down the plastic plateau in its natural environment.
Winner. Winner.
You win. Yes.
Give us Queen Victoria gives us ufology.
Oh, yes. So regal. Yes. Good
This,
job.
we gotta do the smoothing of the hair.
Yes.
You know? Oh God, I'm gonna be lynched. Uh-oh.
The,
Yeah, I'm
you know
gonna
what?
be
It makes me
lynched by the English, the Australians, Canadians, and anybody else who serves the Queen.
Scream is saying the irony is that it may be the real deal. It's just too simple. There should be at least a guide on the ground or a receiving party expecting the arrival of the egg. Right. Like that's when you guide stuff down. You don't just dump it, right?
I don't know,
So
do you?
So that was their evidence. Was there?
That was the piece of video he showed,
Yeah,
and that's what makes him a whistleblower.
see, that was a long way down there. I have no way of gauging how far. I did not see any of the crew that would have put those straps on it
Right.
to haul it. I didn't see any of that.
Right. Well, he was also talking about he had an overwhelming emotional, extreme happy, extreme sad, all at the same time. I'm like, we've been there, and yeah, it was a big cinematic event, very big cinematic. It was, it really was.
Seriously.
Eat Kraken. That's go watch when you get a chance. Go watch. When there's no commentary from any of the YouTubers, the link is for News Nation's stuff, right?
Okay.
And
We're not gonna get in trouble for using that, are we?
no,
Okay,
I can't
good.
play a video.
I can't bail you out. I'm telling you, I can't. I've already told my children, you get in trouble, you're on your own.
Well,
You
if Australia wants to come up here and take me down there, it's on them.
Oh yeah, it's on their dime, by God.
Mm.
You'll have fun though.
Crikey! No,
Right up till they put you in the penal colony. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
no,
I don't think they do.
Yeah, this is
I
very.
imagine they have a very nice, clean prison.
There's a show called Locked Up Abroad I watched a long time ago.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it's one of them reality TV shows, and well, it's there's a lot of scrubbing going on, but it's still a good idea of what it's like to be locked up in foreign countries that you're not a part of, like Mexico and Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
the MRSA must be amazing.
Well, it's an interesting show.
Yeah.
It was. They quit it because of, I don't know, something happened. Somebody died, of course.
Well, I don't know. I personally, it's my biggest goal to stay out of prison.
Right.
I don't think I would do well in prison.
Nah, I mean,
I'd
they
be in
don't want
solitary confinement in 24 hours.
Australia doesn't want to imprison people. They want to extradite them out of they want to banish people.
Skip them out, huh?
Get the hell out of here. That happened to a couple of people doing stupid stuff over there.
Well, that's kind of hypocritical, isn't it?
It's what Australia does.
We've got enough of that sort of thing here. We don't need more.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about the United States. We got enough of that corruption just in Washington.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the big disclosure event also included psionics. Now, Lynn, you and I talked about this already.
Yeah,
Raven wasn't here yet.
I heard a little bit about psionics.
Okay. And well, Raven and I have our little experience with psionics with the Crystal Network.
Yeah. Yeah.
And well, ours, I think they were linked up, and we both lost 2 computers in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For various reasons. The odds of them crapping out the way they did are, at the same time, are very, very
Yeah, we
small.
got better chances of winning the lottery 4 or 5 times than that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, really.
then we have
I had a nice lecture from Storm over that.
Oh
Make
yeah, you
sure
blew
those
out a couple
crystals are.
too, didn't you?
I've blown uh computers
You blew the
myself.
whole server one time, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. Just out of being pissed off,
Yes,
and
yeah, mhm,
it
the
it
whole
is a
server.
psychic ability, and people kind of laugh when Storm says he has a special link to them, but he does. He understands them so well that he just knows them instinctively. And I don't, but I can travel down that circuit, if you will, and things go boom, you know.
yeah, and
And
that
I mean, you hear him screaming at me, "No, don't!" You know, you'll know that my nerves are up and kaboom is about to happen.
yeah,
Houston, we have liftoff,
right, and that
and
psionics was brought up earlier tonight in my show, and I was referring to their take on it, and it was like Project Stargate and remote viewing
right.
and telekinesis and
Well, this harnessed would be terrifically powerful.
right, but it can be harnessed.
Yeah,
It just takes a lot of self-discipline, right? It takes a lot because you cannot have fear, you cannot have insecurity,
uh-uh.
and that's the only reason they were talking to me that one day when I reached out and they picked up. That's the only reason because I decided I do this, I live this way, refusing fear, refusing insecurity. I live this way. I don't just
Yeah.
do it during meditation. I do it. I mean, I walk around like I'm not scared of
Well, I think
anything.
that's why you're able to see them as easily as you do,
Maybe.
because you're not worked up, you're not scared, you're not anticipatory of it, and anticipation is a form of anxiety,
Yeah.
and you're totally chill about it, and I think that the anxiety factor is what trips their ability to disappear.
Yeah. It's like a firewall. You can, I mean, ask, ask Storm, is that a good analogy? That our emotions act like a firewall to communication in that respect.
Okay, Storm. Okay, an analogy. Are our feelings, emotions part of? Say it again, Nathan.
Uh, does it act like a firewall to communications in
Does
this
it act
respect?
like a firewall to communications? Can it act like a firewall? Yes. He says yes. Absolutely.
Did you get a chance to see that article, Nathan? Well, actually, it was a video short, but it was actually kind
Thanks.
of long for a short about
Um,
paranormal activity and UFOs. Uh, they've done some studies at the Monroe Institute, and there's actually a difference in people's brains from those that have
oh,
experienced
right.
trauma
Yeah. Yeah.
and those
Oh
I
that
hit
yeah.
on
don't.
that already. Trauma
Yeah, and trauma can sometimes. But the
kicks it
difference
off.
is there's I can't remember what area of the brain they said it was a hippocampus or something like
Mm-mm.
that
that.
sounds
It,
right.
well, the
It's
hippocampus is involved, of course, but I know I
it's
remember when.
denser than those that have not, and they think that it's also hereditary, can be passed down. So if your great grandfather saw a UFO, you're more likely to see one or recognize one
Yeah,
because
let
you'll have a
me.
denser part of your brain, whatever that is. I can't remember what it is
I'm
now.
gonna look at the video right now.
No, it makes
Um,
sense though, because you
and that
know
and
once you have encountered them and communicated with them, your brain's not accustomed to speaking to anything that's not earthly, and we're not wired for that. And I would expect that it requires a certain rewiring
That could be too.
Gary Nolan.
just to be able to
Basal
basically
ganglia.
communicate.
And they said, that's why you can have 4 people in a car and see a UFO, and 2 of the 4 won't see anything at all.
Right.
And the other 2 can. And yet those 2 that can also see it a little bit differently.
Basal
Depending on
ganglia.
whatever filters you have.
Basal ganglia is denser in some
Yeah.
people than others.
That's it. Yeah.
Well,
I was just reviewing the video.
I've seen them. The first one I saw, I was probably around 11, 12, 13 years old. And it happened to me so fast. It felt fast. But I know that it had to have lasted some time because, I was working in our garden, and it was before dusk. And by the time I realized something had happened, it was well after dusk. You know how you can see after
Lost
dusk
time.
for
Yeah.
a time?
Right.
Nothing. And yet, as I went along, I remembered more and more of it. Apparently, they will try to erase your memory of things, or maybe your own fail safes for your psyche kick in. But as you go along, you're safe. You are safe enough to remember stuff. That's my theory, anyhow. But as you,
and if they're right, then
sorry, please.
Sorry. I thought you were done. Sorry. Go ahead.
I am done.
Because you've had that experience, that puts a mark on your DNA, and then that allows your son, who has that DNA, then would allow him to see things a lot easier.
Oh,
than,
he's seen things.
Yeah. But,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Storm's daughter has as well.
Yeah.
And his son, I'm sure. I would bet my eye teeth on it. But they, Storm's grandfather had contact with them quite tightly. So, it, you can think of it any way you wish. But my Storm's granddad was amazing in his thought processes. He invented a number of things that are unlike anything that was seen at the time. So I won't go into those, simply because we don't have the time for it.
I think there's a memory wipe that happens even after the experience, because there was this object in the West. I was visiting my parents for a week, and I swear this thing followed me. It was very bright, and it stayed there all night long and didn't move. So it wasn't a planet or a star or anything, and it wasn't a plane, obviously. And it was very low, and it was very bright. And the night that I was leaving, I was packing up to leave, and I like to drive at night because there's less traffic on the highway.
Right.
That thing moved over to the north. It was on the other side of the house even. And I showed it to him, and I said, see, because they were like, oh, that's just a star. Oh, that's a plane. Everything. Even when they ran out of things that they could, flip it off to, I'm like, well, what are you left with?
Yeah.
Now, look, it's on the north side of the house. Now tell me, it's been in the west for 6 nights. Tonight, it's over here. And that thing followed me.
Yeah.
I was able to see
Star
it. Star
patterns don't work that way.
Yeah. And
They
now
just
they don't
don't.
remember it. And I made such a big deal out of it, but neither one of them remember anything. They don't remember nothing about this. I'm like, don't you remember in the West, every night we're sitting out there on the deck watching.
They may have made a decision.
They're like, no, what are you talking about? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they may have made a decision not to remember too.
Yeah, their filters are kicking. That's what.
Yeah.
It for a long time after we were picked up, I'm pretty certain that we were followed. they knew exactly where we were, and we were observed. Because the two of us are kind of hyper vigilant anyway, and we notice everything that's going on around us
Oh, yeah.
all of the time. And one night, Storm yelled at me to come out the front, and I looked up, and there was a bright light in the sky, and it was entirely silent. There was nothing to indicate anything going on, just a bright light. He goes, "See, I told you they knew where we were." And I said, "Are you talking to him?" He goes, "Nah, they don't want to talk. They want to watch." I said, "Voyeurism, huh?"
Yeah.
Made a couple of jokes because that's what we do. And because we choose not to be afraid too. But that darn thing followed us around for many nights after that. I hadn't thought about that until you brought it up.
What do you think they want? See, I'm left with the why. They can't be that bored, and
I
I
don't
can't be
know
that.
why do we follow Bigfoot? Why do we follow a deer? Gotcha. Why do we do these things?
Yeah.
We want to know more. We're scientists. We want to see different species in action. In their natural habitat.
There have been times, off and on since childhood, that I felt watched, and I don't know if that was just a spirit in the room, if it was a UFO.
Pareidolia. I don't think I know that name. That word.
I've seen it before.
Faces in the dark.
I can't remember what it means.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't remember. Tell us what that word means again, DJ. I ran across it a few times, but I don't remember.
Pareidolia. Here, I'm going to look like I disappear for a second. Okay. And I'll put it in here. Pareidolia. Parado.
Maybe because we're programmed to see patterns. It's seeing patterns in things that aren't really there. Seeing faces in.
Is that what it is?
Or seeing clouds or something like that.
Psychological phenomenon that causes people to see patterns, objects, or meanings in things that are ambiguous or unrelated. Image or thereabouts. Okay. That's what it means.
Okay.
So I don't know. A bright light in the sky. I'm not talking about a star. I'm talking about something in the sky that would almost resemble a helicopter's light. That's how bright this darn thing was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was around for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nathan has gone for coffee.
This was in.
I hope my manic is over.
This light thing with my parents happened in 2012. Early fall. Yeah. And that thing was around for the longest time. And then it was gone. And then I moved here, and then there was another one. I don't know if it was the same one.
Well, just probably want to make sure where you were at.
Yeah. And now it's gone. And I kind of miss it. I'm like, oh, maybe they got bored with me. Maybe I just wasn't entertaining anymore.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm still irritating.
I got used to being there. I would go outside and say, hi, guys.
Oh, yeah. We were doing that. We were taunting it, daring it to come down and show its face.
I've done that too. Yeah.
Whole bit. Nothing. They're
Nothing.
like, yeah. I even offered it coffee and some pizza.
I did too.
You want a coffee, pizza?
Come down and
I
have a
don't know,
tea.
grubs. I couldn't tell you what they
I would
eat.
love to. Yeah. Uh-oh.
What do you say here? Detecting well-disguised predators or food. Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
But anyhow, it's these are not unheard of things. After someone has seen a UFO, they will snoop around after them, see what they're up to. See if they've had a complete nervous breakdown or they're bearing up okay. I don't know.
I've seen them since I was little. My first
Uh,
one, I think I was in first or second grade, and I was out at my aunt's house, and Mom and my aunt were inside, and it was nighttime, and I was out looking at the stars. I was always a stargazer,
Me
and
too.
I saw one, and I ran in to tell them, and they didn't believe me. And yeah, that hurt my feelings. So I asked for a telescope for Christmas. I
Yeah.
got one the following year.
I don't know. I was probably 7 or 8. I mean, I couldn't have been any more than that, maybe 6. And I was outside on Christmas Eve because, well, I wanted to see if Santa Claus was showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw something that I was absolutely positive it was Santa Claus. And I don't know. It could have been a shooting star. It could have been anything. I don't remember what it was, though. I remember it happening. That part I remember, but what it was precisely, I don't know. I know that it came across it came across a light part in the sky where there was a cloud.
There's a race of ETs that do something to your memory so that all you remember is a white owl when they have visited you.
I love white owls. House is polluted with them.
Another common one they'll use is a deer. But the deer, there'll be something funny about the deer. The deer will be like on its back legs, something unusual. But the white owl is common.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I have a collection of owls. And no, please don't send me owls, okay? But I've had to put about half of them away. But you're right. I've had a collection of owls for a very long time. And it just occurs to me that, the ones that I favor the most are the white ones. That's interesting that you said that because I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nathan, you're muted.
Oh, okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. Thanks, Raven.
you get coffee?
Yeah, I got
enough for
coffee.
everybody?
Oh, well, it's quantum, so have at it. But Aussie is bringing up something here that I would like to clarify. Now, pareidolia, Aussie is saying pareidolia to see things that aren't actually there. Here's the thing. Pareidolia is our mind's ability to see patterns where there are none based on previous knowledge, right? And I'm with what's his name from Y-Files and saying that we lived for 10,000 years being preyed upon by human-like things, Neanderthals, and that's where we get our scared of the dark, glowing eyes, fear, and they have very human-like faces, plus humans. Plus, we've been looking at other humans that are eating us and killing us and hunting us. So yeah, that's pareidolia, right? To see patterns that aren't necessarily there, but it triggers one of our monkey brain programs.
Well, it's a survival technique,
right?
And it's also
Because
something that sets us off when something looks human, but doesn't quite
that's
make
the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
That would be the uncanny valley, and I know what you're talking about. Uncanny Valley is like on the Shrek to first screening. The kids were crying because the female, the woman, I forget what her name was, didn't look human enough, but looked weirdly unhuman. And
Fiona.
Fiona, that's right.
Yeah, my
Mona.
son loved that one.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have loved
I
it the
know
first
every
time around.
word of the darn thing. My son loved that movie.
Yep. It's to defeat camouflage and hidden threats or food, etc. Right? Talking about pareidolia. Scream Engine
Well,
brings it.
human beings though have been top of the food chain for quite a long time, and when you're out and about, and something sounds funny, where do you look? What's your first instinct to look?
To the side or behind you.
Behind you, to side, maybe something in front of you? How many of us actually look up? We
Okay,
don't.
well,
I do.
I
We
do.
don't. I look up.
We are
And
the quantum crowd. We look up.
yeah, when I'm looking for somebody, I'm not necessarily looking for them side to side. I may look up for them depending on what's going on. But, if I'm outside and I get a creep, a being watched creep, I'll look up first, and I didn't used to do that.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm always looking up now. And
me
like
too.
they
Yeah.
say, don't. I live in the woods. They say now it's not deep in the woods, but it's far enough. They
Uh-huh.
say don't look in the trees. It's the first place I look. Don't look at the sky. I don't whistle because that's just stupid. But
Oh, no. What are you calling up?
right, I
You
don't
know?
want. I want to see what's there passively looking at me. I don't want them coming up to my right here.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, cats sit in trees.
Right.
I've seen enough big cats to be damn concerned about what's in a tree. Okay? Seriously, and I say big cats, I'm talking about big cats.
Yeah.
Because in this
Right.
country, you have big cats.
Yeah. I walked out of before we moved. I walked out to the backyard and I heard something, just a little rustle in the tree, and it was winter time. And I looked up, and I had walked out into the backyard. I looked up with my little flashlight. The trees were filled with possums. For real. Lots of
Oh my!
lots of eyes looking at me, and you could see them slowly
Just
moving along the branches.
looking at you like, what do you want?
Possums all over the trees. I was like, "Oh my we there are." I lost count at like
Oh my
12.
God. I didn't know they climbed
My.
trees.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, they live in trees.
Yeah.
They especially
They
like
eat everything. I mean, they're omnivores,
but
and
these
what
guys were
better place to get grubs and stuff than a tree?
yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
know
just
that. Good.
it was
Okay.
full
Cool.
of possums. I stopped counting at 12, and they stopped looking at me because apparently I was boring until I made some kind of whistling noise or something and made them go, "What?" And then I could see their eyes glowing. By the way, I'm pretty sure they have night vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they're night animals. They're nocturnal.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they have not infravision because,
Yeah.
like, if you look at like a cat, any cat, they all have infravision. They all have night vision. If you look at them at night with a flashlight directly,
Yeah.
their eyes glow
They
because of
do.
It's true.
it's
Yeah.
Now
the way, huh?
skunks can climb. Usually don't because their eyesight's bad. You know,
Yeah,
but they can. Those little claws can go anywhere they decide to go. They can go up a
right,
wall if they wanna, and of course they have their own vibe. And anyhow, the raccoons do too. Raccoons will be up in a tree as well,
right,
and if one of them is a little crazy, that might very well drop on you because
yeah,
that's their way of dealing with stuff is riding a a victim to the ground
Mhm.
and then tearing them up. That's why they're so damn dangerous. People think, oh, cute. No,
No,
leave them alone.
we're not talking ravens, raccoons. We're talking about the crazy ones.
Oh yeah, no.
They're crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
ravens,
they're
raccoons,
crazy, but
shit to take to the pawn shop. That's all.
Put them on Craigslist, sell it, beast.
I wouldn't have believed it myself if I went to seen it. It's funny. I got a video of it when they stole my shop vac. I didn't think it would run off with it. They dragged it off the deck and down 4 steps, and it was dark out, and I didn't want to go get it. And I filmed this, and I'm laughing. And then the next morning, I go out there to get it, and it's gone.
They want to trade it to the homies down the road.
Or like they ran off with an entire shop vac. I looked everywhere around the house, around the yard, way down to the neighbor's house, went back here to this neighbor. No shop vac anywhere. And I thought, why in the hell would they want that thing? And I thought, oh yeah,
They probably drug it up a tree and live in that damn thing.
They smelled the cat food that was in the canister.
Oh my god!
And then after that, they left the hose. They left the hose.
Well, damn.
And I still, to this day, I have not found it.
Oh my god!
And they ran off with a package, one of my Christmas presents. A girlfriend sent me something from Amazon, and Amazon took a picture of it right by the garage door. And the garage door was cracked open about this wide. And I thought, oh, that's weird. It's been really cold, and I've been shutting the door. And I'll be damned, it's gone. Can't find it anywhere.
Oh my goodness!
They ran off with shoes
Little
before.
rascals.
I've got like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes in there. There's only one shoe because I took them off on the deck, kicked them off in the summertime, and they ran off with a shoe. I found some stuff in the woods. There's some jewelry they ran off with. I thought, how the hell?
Yeah, they love shiny stuff.
And they ran off with my denture one day too.
Well, now that's just going too damn far.
I had taken it out by the garage door and I set it on the file cabinet, and they took it.
Hey, this is the thrift shop. Is yours in here, Raven? It's from the thrift store down the road. Yours out.
Oh my god!
You could rival that, couldn't you, Lynn?
Pardon me?
You could probably rival that photo, couldn't you? Dear Sweepers?
I could once upon a time.
Is that yours? Is yours blue, light blue, or is it the black one? I don't know. Well, it's gone forever now. It's not in your name anymore, so
15 of those damn things. Do you know how long it took me to get rid of those things?
That is just so funny. I'll never forget that story. That's just so funny.
You know, I mean, strange things, right? And all I wanted was to manifest a vacuum for my son, you know, and all of a sudden I got 15 of the damn things.
Raccoon Recycling in Pawn LLC.
Probably landed in the backyard that day. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Raccoons are crazy though. They will take the oddest things. You know, but they're scavengers very much like possums are too. And they feather the nest with it. This is pretty. I'll hang that on a wall. You know, side of the tree or what have you. One thing you don't want to do is come upon a mama raccoon or possum, either one, and be thinking about touching one of their kids.
yeah.
Of course, humans are pretty much the same way.
Yeah. This reminds me of a horrible thing that happened. I had a mama raccoon, and they had torn up my whole deck. I had potted plants, and they just ripped the plants out and left them, and just trashed. And they ripped up a bunch of my seat cushions, and they just destroyed my whole deck. And I was madder than hell. And I had a BB rifle, and here I see one. I didn't know it was a mama, and I didn't know she had 4 cubs underneath the deck waiting for her. And I took a shot at her, and of all times. Usually I always miss. But this time I
Not
didn't
today.
miss. And it killed her right on the spot instantly. Got her right
Oh,
behind the head. And then as soon as that happened, for a few moments, I was gleeful. And then I heard the babies crying. And I'm like, and I
Oops.
looked over the edge and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? And and it's 4:00 in the morning. So who can I call?
nobody. Not at 4 in
So
the morning.
I
What
tried to
did
keep,
you do about it?
I called the wildlife, left a message there, and tried to keep the babies here. So I ran in the house. I'm like, what am I going to do? I grabbed a pizza, and I tried to, but they were not even they weren't even old enough to eat solid food. They were trying to
Yeah,
suckle
they were still,
their dead mother. It was
Oh,
horrible.
gee.
And 2 of them got killed on the road, and the other 2 ran off by the time So
Oh,
by
man.
the time they called back, and
Well,
I just
try not to blame yourself for it. I mean, gee whiz.
I cried. I
They
cried a river. I was
she
so
probably
upset.
tore up your furniture simply for the stuffing for her nest.
I just, oh my God,
Oh,
I was so upset.
yeah, I'll tell you, one of the worst things I ever went through, I caught a mouse in one of those quote unquote humane traps.
Oh, the sticky stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that poor thing cried and it screamed. And I was a mess for a week. You
Yeah.
know, I said, I don't mind killing him outright, but by George, torturing him to death isn't my thing.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
tried to save one and pull it off of there.
Oh, yeah, that's not a good idea either.
It doesn't work.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it dissolves the glue. I've done it.
Oh, okay.
Any
That's
kind of
yeah, I
vegetable oil,
just
canola oil,
can't.
corn oil, it take the thing outside. Take
But
the
you know, I haven't had a mouse since
split.
then. We
Yeah,
we
we're
had we had a infestation of mice in our trailer in Las Cruces, and what it was, the hot water tank had broken, and the heat under there attracted them because it's wintertime, you know. And suddenly we had critter and a lot of them, and I got rid of them with peppermint.
Oh,
They don't want to hear about peppermint. They hate it.
a lot of
it's
things.
right in their faces. I use
Yeah,
peppermint oil.
yeah, and
Critters
not extract peppermint oil. And they despise it. So do roaches.
So do
Don't like it.
spiders.
And spiders, yeah.
Yeah.
But
If you had it in your face breathing that all the time, you despise it.
Yeah.
well, I use it quite a bit, but the having it continually would probably be an unhappy thing.
Well, I
But
mean, when it's like if you're talking on your phone and you're breathing peppermint on the phone, that's what they're
yeah,
enduring, right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
you're like
No, they
got your
get
headset on
yeah,
and
they
you're
take off.
yeah,
They're
I
gonna
mean,
do it.
that's what they're enduring, and they don't want to deal with that, you know, because it's right in their face.
Well,
I mean,
I only had one of those rodents that was absolutely adamant he wasn't moving, and it was a big old rat, and he was as big as my fist, and I'm not kidding. And Moon went, my ex went big game hunting. That was the end of him. But I really don't want someone waving around a pistol in my house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I should start up a business, rent a cat. That we get
That's a
rid of
thought.
anybody's got a rodent problem. Yeah. I can
Yeah,
get-
and if you really like the cat, keep the cat.
yeah, you can keep
I
them.
mean, you know, I got the deposit, no problem. I would do that.
I could do that. I could
You
do
could.
that.
Maybe unload some of that,
Yes.
some of the livestock you got going on there.
Rent a cat. Oh, funny. Yeah. Might do that.
Barn Cat Pest Control by Raven LLC. I like that. Yeah, young Raven. Turn
It
it
even
into a
sounds.
business.
It even sounds mythical.
Raven
Doesn't it?
LLC. Attempted murder
Cat
on
and
mice.
ravens together on your side. Let's do the commercial. Cats and ravens together on your side. Get rid of those rats right now. Cats and ravens. Call us today.
Hold a sign with a raven on it, and then a tombstone with a rat on it.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
With a proud pussycat.
I have one of my channels I was working on was Raven's Nest Cat Sanctuary.
Uh-huh.
No, and there's another one. Something.
Yeah, Rent a Cat by Raven.
But I like the Rent a Cat. Raven's Rent a Cat. Got a rodent problem? No problem. Call Raven's Rent a Cat.
Well,
Life
that's
is
one thing
insurance.
that rodents really do hate is cats. They do not like the smell of cats. The
Yeah.
other thing that doesn't like a cat is a snake. Snakes don't like them. They will not be
Cats
around them.
brought in a snake last year in spring.
Joy.
I came in this kitchen and they heard me several miles, I'm sure. And it was still alive. Still alive.
Oh, joy.
Kind of messed up. He was bleeding a little bit. His head was kind of funny, but he was still alive.
I'd have found my cleaver.
So
That'd have been the end of that mess.
I just got a brown paper bag and laid it right next to him, and then.
There you go, Raven.
Oh, cool! I like that.
I like that too.
Save that. Send that to me. I could do something with that.
You know what? You know what? Put a an opposite like an opposite inside where the beak and the feather is. Make it a cat head.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, rent a pussy. I get called on by Vice, but hey, what the hell?
Or YouTube police. Careful. Careful, cold medicine.
I'm
be stuck on
trying.
Rumble.
I'm being good. Honest, I am. All right, I'm not so good, but I'm good at it. You know?
Okay, yeah, we took a weird turn tonight.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, well, listen, you are discussing this.
Right. Well, let's get back to. Oh no, Ross Coulthart. Yeah, robot tripping. Yeah.
So
Right.
what did you think? What did you think of their whistleblower? Didn't he look like he's just totally creeped out?
Well, he doesn't blink. I saw him on another interview, so I know who you're talking about. He just was, and he doesn't blink, and he just talks and doesn't blink, and his eyes are so big you can see, the whole.
Yeah,
like
he's
this
high.
guy, is he high or is he just
So
is he
strung
trying to
out
leave
he
the
can't stand
helicopter
it.
or what?
There maybe a couple of rounds of therapy. I don't know.
Yeah, I just got the creepy. I mean, he just feels that it's just weird.
I'm not going to say the P word about him, for something like that. But boy, that would put it in mind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The P word.
You can put it in chat.
Okay. I can't put it in chat. I'm not on YouTube.
Okay, or that something that it rhymes with.
Obsession.
What? It rhymes with
Ob-
obsession?
with obsession. Instead, it's a pose.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh!
yeah.
Yeah, still
No.
not demons.
Still not demons, I
Still not.
know.
I'm going with exhaust fumes. I'm going with exhaust fume exposure.
Sucking on a tile pipe? What?
Oh, you know what? You know what he said
What
about
do you-
the lack of eyebrows. He and body hair. He said
Yeah.
when he after the helicopter ride that he rolled the thing off, whatever, right? That he had radiation poison symptoms and he lost all his body hair.
That's not outside the realm of possibility. That may be what's making him look a bit odd.
He has no eyebrows.
Right, and yeah.
That
Yes.
would do it.
Hmm. But he said, and now,
50% loaded, yeah.
It
well,
was a long ride through a wormhole.
yeah,
All kidding aside, though, he looks as though he was exposed to something.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, if his eyelashes missing also,
yes.
well,
There's
there's a
nothing there.
problem. We're viewing him from a standpoint he doesn't look quite right,
Yeah.
Right.
and because he doesn't look right, we're kind of kidding about him.
Well,
But
I've seen him in other interviews. He is human. This is not no AI
no,
talk.
I didn't think he wasn't human, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint that we're geared to seeing a human face with eyebrows, with eyelashes, with
Right, right. That's
a
our
certain
evolution.
amount of
Those
hair, or
are-
at least a hairline of some sort, a beard, and he doesn't have any of those things. And it's like looking at AI. AI isn't quite right.
Right. It's
You know,
the uncanny valley is what you're
yeah,
referring to.
yeah. It's
Mhm.
not right, and it's a survival mechanism kicking up.
Yeah.
I
But
wondered that if he was just an AI.
Mm-mm.
What I
Right.
thought.
it's
What
real.
Scream
first
Engine says. He's confident, but his eyes are constantly searching slightly upward when finding words. That could be
That's imagination.
right. That could be just a personal quirk of his. But when you're looking at body language, that's like making stuff up, like you said,
Yeah,
imagination. Uh, Jake Barber, talking about Jake Barber, the guy that was on the latest whistleblower, Monty.
yeah.
We're talking about this guy. He was on News Nation earlier today.
Yeah, it's just that if he was exposed to a significant amount of radiation, it would have burned his face too, though.
Well,
And
this happened years ago.
yeah,
So, and he was in a helicopter 150 feet up. So he says, right? So
uh,
we have something we can go by. How far away was he? About 100, 150 feet. So that could be how long the line was. And we could use that as like, we have a constant. We can measure from there. You know,
well, and if he had to do that for any length of time, say for an hour or 2 hours from point A to point B, wherever he dropped thing off, he had significant exposure,
right,
even at that length.
right. But the burning, what you're mentioning, that
Yeah.
would have been taken by the helicopter fuselage. But the radiation, now the waves that make it through. Now he was behind some shielding, the helicopter. He would have still gotten a dose enough to keep his hair from growing back. That will
Well, he'll never be able to have an X-ray again.
well
He's had a
see
lethal
now up
dose.
back to the t-shirts. We don't have that information.
I
I
know
don't
we
have that
don't,
information. I'm not going there about
but
that.
that sort of exposure to it
Hmm.
is going to have long-lasting repercussions. It would have to. And that's not a guess.
Okay. what she's
That's
talking
true.
about
That's
is
true.
Graves' disease, and I have there are lots of disturbing pictures up here, right? So I'm not going to go there, but you can Google Graves' disease and you can see what Renee is talking about, and that's true, right? Okay, and Samo was saying,
Yeah.
now we're talking about what he's talking about here, Samo. Amazingly, radiation exposure begins from the inside outwards, destroying DNA slowly or fast, depending on many factors. Right, and what he's talking about is behind some kind of shielding when you don't get the burn. When you don't get the burn, you carry on those particles, and it destroys chromosomes. And those destroyed chromosomes,
Right.
now there's a lot to it, like Samo said. Those
Yeah.
carry on, and they get broken down and replicated, broken, and that's why cancer, deformations, uh,
Right.
strange blood, and
Thyroid problems, of
well,
course.
all the organs start malfunctioning, right?
Right.
But
Right.
when you're behind a bunch of shielding, you don't get to burn. Like there was that guy in the cave. He said he shot two aliens and they blasted him with something and he got burned by it. I can't remember the guy's name. Phil Schneider.
Will Snyder.
Okay.
Phil Schneider. He was the one. He said he was put down into a cave and they blasted him with something. Now he got a full dose. He lost
Right.
part of his hand. He had this big splotch on his body, right?
Right.
And
He got hurt. He got hurt bad.
right, he was now that is radiation.
Right.
Um,
Now, while we're talking about important stuff here, like and subscribe if you're here. You're quantum.
yes, like and subscribe if you're here. You're quantum. Thank you. I keep forgetting. Thank you.
Well, it's a half an hour, and I'm kind of, want to call out the station numbers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Phil Schneider.
That's how I see it. The like and subscribe just YouTube's station numbers.
Right. All right. I'm not going to show these. You can
I
look up Phil Schneider's wounds if you want to.
I
They're a little
wouldn't.
too
You
graphic.
don't want to have to put some sort of disclaimer up.
No, I'm not even going to show it. Like, if you want to look at it, you can go look at it. But Phil Schneider had some very bad wounds on him from being exposed to a directed radiation blast, according to him. And why do I say that? Because that's all we got to go by.
Right.
What he said, and he was taken out by somebody, took him out.
You don't get those just from wandering around in the woods.
No.
Yeah.
That
And
something got him.
yeah, or in a cave. I've never been in a cave. Well,
I have.
even in a radioactive cave, that doesn't happen. Even in if you're digging up uranium
He was
35, it
at a
doesn't happen.
base, underground
What?
base, and went down into the lower levels of the underground base and encountered these aliens, and they were doing
Right.
all kinds of.
He was with some special forces guys, and they most of them, if not all of them, died.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, our mountains here have a terrific amount of what the heck? I want to say uranium in them. And yeah. Am I thinking, Frank? Am I thinking right? It's uranium up in our mountains, or plutonium. What is it? Uranium. Uranium. Yes.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
But
It's mostly mined out, but there's bound to be more there.
there's traces. Yeah, there's traces. I mean, you can go with a Geiger counter all over Fort Bliss, El Paso, New Mexico,
Yeah.
and you get slightly elevated readings all over the place, and you're like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Nothing. It's trace amounts.
It's just that's what's in the mountains.
That's what's in the
And
dirt.
in the old days, you didn't dare go up there for any length of time. You come down sick.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
Take your word for it. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I
no, it's true.
didn't experience it.
Well, like I say, in the old days,
Mm.
when the mining was just beginning, they were looking for gold in this area, of course, and had found silver in Arizona and up in Silver City, and of course, different mines in between.
Mm.
And the other thing they found was uranium.
Yeah, I don't think
Uranium will do
they knew
you.
what it was.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, these prospectors, they run across weird stuff and they don't know what the heck to think of it. So we're lucky when they report them. We're
Yeah.
lucky because they found, what was it, Raven? They found fossilized wagon wheels in caves while they
Yes.
were looking for oil. They were digging for oil and they found ancient civilization stuff. It's like,
Hmm.
whoa.
Yeah. They found this thing that looks like a cell phone. No kidding.
How about that?
It's some kind of it looks like a cell phone. Yeah. And
I
then they've
think
got this one that's in a museum now that it's some type of like a clamp, but it's metal and it's obviously
Right.
been,
Right. I remember seeing that. I
yeah.
remember seeing that.
And they don't have it out on public view. You have to go in the back
I've
room.
dashed for it.
Aluminum. It was aluminum. And they're like, wait a minute, aluminum doesn't occur in nature. It's a polymer. And it is. You have to make aluminum out of bauxite. It doesn't happen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. It's
Of course, there is aluminum in this area in Utah and Nevada.
There's
You know,
bauxite.
borax and
There's bauxite.
uh-huh. Well, the makings for aluminum, I should have said. But
there's all
you
kinds
know,
of
it's
out of place artifacts.
Okay.
yeah.
There, I think there's enough evidence to suggest there was definitely a advanced civilization prior to this one that we are in, all around where the younger Dryas period they talk about, and for the Ice Age, and I mean a global one, not just Atlantis, but they say that Atlantis also had it was kind of like all over the globe, had different outlying places. It was all part of the
Right.
I'm going to
And
share.
it's like, yeah.
Okay.
And,
maybe
and something Scream Engine is talking about here is they found springs, machine screws, pipes, and 400-year-old geology.
Right. You're talking about permafrost. I know what you're talking about. So that's what they found, microtechnology in Russian permafrost. Thanks global warming, melting off some of that ice, they dig down, they find something. Yeah. People try to debunk that, but you can't debunk it. Rocks don't form in 60 years.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, rocks, it takes thousands of years for rocks to form rocks. Unless you're a volcano, and then nothing's going to survive being in a volcano.
Right. And
A
Right.
spark
It'll
plug?
just burn up too
Yeah.
hot.
these are found in sedimentary rock formation,
Right.
and that takes a long time.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
to go back to what, to go back to the aluminum thing, right? I will read this out because it's hard to read. Yes, aluminum is naturally occurring, meaning it is found in nature, but is not found in its pure metallic form. Instead, it exists combined with other elements in minerals like bauxite, making it necessary to extract it through mining and refining processes to obtain pure aluminum metal. It is one of the most abundant, but it is always found combined with other elements. You don't dig up an aluminum scoop, okay? You dig up a rock that has some stuff in it. You don't dig up a tool.
Yeah.
No,
Call it
you
naturally
don't.
occurring.
You're
There-
absolutely right.
There's a hammer that was found somewhere in Wisconsin.
London, Texas.
Wisconsin or Minnesota.
London, Texas. I'm very familiar with the London hammer.
Yeah.
Very familiar. It was found, and it's a copper hammer, and it should not exist.
Right. But, you know, you can say, okay, it should not exist, but here it is. So either a genius put this thing together, figured it out, maybe made it when he was thinking about putting together a sword or something.
Right.
And
Okay. I will quote D&D. One of the easiest things, one of the only things you can make without a hammer is a hammer. And then when
yeah,
you make a rough hammer, you make a better hammer and you get rid of the old one.
that's right.
Okay,
Right.
I'm just gonna read this. I'm not gonna try to share the screen. This is from Amazing History and Archaeology, shared on Facebook September 4th of last year. The London hammer, discovered in 1936 in London, Texas, is a controversial, out of place artifact that appears to be a 19th century tool encased in rock, purportedly dating back to the Cretaceous period, sparking debate. The intriguing find challenges established geological timelines and generated significant discussion regarding its origin and the processes that led to its encasement in the rock, supposedly millions of years old. That is the London hammer. Um,
Right.
I will.
I
I
remember that myself.
I can't leave a link to that. That's a Facebook
But
post.
There's
you know,
something.
there's our whole world is encapsulated, of course. You know, and somebody leaves something behind that they shouldn't have, like a hammer. You know, that is count your tools, people. You know, but it's one of the big things about there being other life on this planet is we keep finding stuff that should not be here, and it may or may not be human in origin.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tim said something earlier. Silurian. It's Silurian with an N on the back of it. But yeah, the Silurian hypothesis that it's from Doctor Who that there were
Damn thing.
lizard people, but lizard-based people, not lizard people, not David Icke, but lizard-based people living here, and they have retreated into some other reality, but they want to come back and reclaim Earth as their own, which is not going to happen because
No, I
their
don't think so.
reality has been changed so much. That's why we don't have dinosaurs because they cannot exist here anymore. Gravity changed, air changed, light, atmosphere
Well,
all changed.
I was looking at I believe it's Science Daily, and I may be wrong about that. You know, time. You know, I've slept, but anyway, the had read where there are layers of Earth, you know, into the core of Earth that are perfectly able to support life in between,
Mhm.
and they've discovered quite a bit of evidence towards that.
Mhm.
So they may have just gone below Earth,
Yeah.
below
Right.
surface.
They're still finding traces of close to the surface Turkey, all over Turkey. In
Yeah.
Europe, they're finding all kinds of very close to the surface underground civilization stuff. This is the London hammer, okay? This is the
Right.
London hammer, and it's found in
That's
Cretaceous period rock.
and that thing is manufactured. There's still traces of its handle inside and outside.
Yeah, it was made somehow, right? It was made somehow, and no one is an out of place artifact. But there's that. But
Well, you know,
thank you
there's
for the information.
the old sand method was used to create a mold to pour molten
Lost wax casting, right?
lost wax casting,
You're right.
and that's a possibility. But
Yes.
finding
Here's
it
the
in a
thing.
solid rock
In
doesn't make sense.
Cretaceous period rock.
Yeah,
Right. They weren't casting things like that a million years ago that we're
Uh-uh.
aware of. But maybe they were, and that's how it got there. I don't know. But
Well, there's certainly
talking about
evidence to it now.
talking about the civilizations, they're fine now. You can think of like you've already mentioned the layers, sedimentary layers, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Layers. Now we're here, of course, and they're finding that stuff there. But they've also, you can look on like Gaia and other places, and they're saying they found stuff way down here,
Yeah. Water, air.
but they're not talking about it. They don't want to talk about it. They found
Uh-uh.
underground oceans, three
Yeah.
times as much water underground that is up here.
And
Now,
it's fresh
Yeah.
water too.
right, and they're talking now. This is where the scientists get cagey about it. They say, "Oh, it's locked up in rock." They don't know. They don't know that. They haven't brought up core samples from where they're seeing the seismic. What they do is they use seismic waves to measure the density, and there's some very surprising things coming back from those examinations. They're finding it's it's nowhere near as dense as what it is up here, but logically mainstream says there it has to be solid rock, so it therefore must be. That's a fallacy, right? That's what mainstream does. It injects previous research, but they have no real previous research in this. All they have are uh, readings from this machine,
Right.
and what they thought they're trying to integrate it into what old knowledge is, and old knowledge and new knowledge are clashing, and they don't want to admit it
Right.
because uh, people. Here's why: people lose funding, they lose credibility, they get their livelihoods taken away from them, and so they don't want
Well, and I
to
have to create new science.
right
Yeah.
because we're not ready
New
for it.
textbooks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
everything.
this is why the aliens won't talk to us, right? Because
Well, that's
we
why
won't accept
doctors
the
don't
truth.
have aren't any further than they are too.
Yeah,
They're just bound
they're
hand
held
and foot
back
by it.
by in our case, pharmaceutical companies. They're held back
Yeah.
by
They
oh,
help
you
sponsor,
know,
they help pay their education, make
my
them
doctor.
beholden to them. And it's, I mean, the whole system is to keep you sick because they make so much money. If they had, I'm sure they've had a cure for cancer for a long time, but
Yeah,
they're
they
not doing
found out
that all because they make too much money.
sound waves can do it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but this is I just my doctor hates me when I told her I'm taking cinnamon for blood sugar issues. She just looks at me like I'm crazy. But I just got
Yeah.
this book.
Oh yes, I've seen that book advertised. I want that
Yeah.
book.
It's cheaper on Amazon, okay? This
Oh,
is actually a used copy. It doesn't look used to me. This is a new old stock copy, so
yeah.
I picked this one up.
I'll
It's
tell you another one that if you're interested in a honest look at medicine today would be Lies My Doctor Told Me by Dr. Ken Berry.
I
That's
know I know
Berry.
Ken Berry.
I
I
do
know
too.
he's here. He's in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
I've heard him.
And he is quite brilliant. He does his own research. He doesn't expect someone to hand it to him.
Right, yeah, the
And
mainstream hates him. The
oh,
mainstream absolutely hates this guy.
they do. But I'll tell you what, the between the carnivore and the keto diet, they cure the diabetes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he doesn't mind saying so. He can prove it.
Yep, and it's just that is one of the biggest money makers
It
for
is.
is these chronic diseases, and they have already figured out. Let me see if I can. Now, hooray for the
Oh,
quantum show!
just,
Who wants to talk about this except us, right?
yeah, really. But
Um,
seriously, I've done a lot of my own research too because I don't trust doctors, and I haven't for years.
Me neither.
In fact, it's got to the place where where if my doctor's stuck, he calls. Said, can you do some research on this subject? To tell us what he's looking for. Is there anything new going on? He doesn't have the time to research. Now, he's not nearly as busy as a big city doctor would be, but he's plenty busy enough,
Now,
And that's one thing
Sure.
where the two of us shine is in the research department.
here's something I found out about stem cells. Oh my God, he said stem cell research. What that's got to do with dead babies, right? No,
No,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
That is the old way, right? That is the original way. This is AI overview, just a off the top Google search, right? I'm going to read it because it's hard to read. Stem cell research for diabetes is a promising area of study that could lead to new treatments for transportation,
Yeah.
treatments for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Stem cell therapies can help people with diabetes reduce or eliminate their need for insulin injections. How stem cells are used. Bone marrow is a rich source of stem cells. There you go. And can be harvesting using a minimally invasive procedure. There's one
They're used in yours.
right. You're using your own cord cells. That is the dead baby thing, right? And
Yeah.
that is the old way, old way.
Very old
And
technology there.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop
Listen to
sharing that.
research also. But when you get started on a subject like this one, you better have 2 hours to do it.
Right. I'm not gonna start that. I'm
But
just saying.
I will say, if you're interested in knowing some of the statistics and the rest of it that are involved in some of these designer drugs like statins, give him a lookie, because
Yeah, Ken Berry.
he's very knowledgeable about it. He is an MD, and they've gone so far as try to burn him out.
Yep. I have watched a little bit of Ken Berry's controversy, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff, he's enhancing what they say without drugs.
Yeah.
Like eat right, take in less sugar. Well, that's what they say anyway.
Well, that's
right?
perfectly fine, but if you're clueless about it, you really need to have more guidance than that, and he does provide that.
Right,
And
without the need for Cialis or all that stuff drives you crazy. Turns you into a zombie, face-eating zombie.
Cialis?
Yeah, or not Cialis, but
I
something.
think you mean metformin and some of that mess.
No, I'm talking about the weight loss drug.
Oh, Ozempic and
Ozempic.
Wegovy.
Ozempic. Cialis is
Yeah.
quit smoking. Yeah, I just went to a doctor's appointment and they are always on me to quit smoking. I'm like, I meditate. I don't need your help.
I
Thank
got
you.
one of the best pieces of advice from a cardiologist who actually said, how long has, my family member been smoking? And I told him, because he'd be better off to just cut down and not try to quit, because the shock of quitting can be just as bad on the body as doing it.
Yeah, I've cut down.
Yeah,
would
and
be- it
he
would be hard
has
for me.
too. He's like 5 or 6 smokes a day, where before it's like 2 or 3 packs a day.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I can't even imagine that. I mean,
No.
just not my thing. Although if you talked about chocolate in the same breath, we could discuss it.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, well, y'all, I need to wrap it up. We've gone
Yeah.
way off the rails, even though it is related. I think disclosure is going to involve technology disclosure first.
Yeah.
I think in a year's time, we're going to be going, hey, did you see the new Hollow at the Hollow Theater?
Uh-huh.
Instead of the new movie at the movie theater. And this a whole stuff with disclosure and this guy on
Holograms and stuff. Yeah.
well, the holograms.
The rest of the world has it already.
Yeah, you can go to Japan, Korea, China, and I think Australia and go to a holo show. Like as easy as you go to a movie, you
Mhm.
buy a ticket, you go in and you get into the seat, and holograms, right? Why don't we have it there? Because they're holding it back because they want this Project Blue Beam stuff happening. They want to scare us. Resist fear, all of it. Resist fear. They want you scared. They want you thinking it's demons. They want you thinking you need help from the government. You don't.
Right.
And
One of the biggest lies they tell is we're here from the government. We're here to help.
right now,
Hmm.
shout out Ronald Reagan. We don't
Yeah.
need that, right? We don't. That he said that.
Uh-huh.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help. No,
No.
not at all. Okay, but watch out for technology coming out, right? Watch out for holograms and weird medical technology and all that stuff. So yeah, on this note, Samo is now giving me the red light.
And
Chat
and
room,
can
huh?
I add one thing?
Sure.
Big shout out to Samo, to Storm, to Monty, to Aussie Tiger for keeping order in the chat room and keeping chat going. We sure appreciate your help,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we couldn't do it without you.
Right. Because we are the Quantum Show. It's not me. It's not a funny little sticker or even t-shirts for sale. By the way, watch for the descriptions to change for t-shirt sales.
Hey, I forgot Tim. Tim,
Yeah,
of
Tim is here.
course.
Yeah, Tim helps make it happen too. But thanks everybody. This has been panel discussion with me, Lynn, and Raven right here on the Quantum Show. Hope you have a takeaway from it. Hope you have learned to think a little more critically. I hope. Don't be scared. It's all good. They're not here to take over. Who would want to take over this mud ball of people fighting each other? Who would want to take over that? Right? Who would want? We would need Darth Vader to come in and do that. And I don't see no TIE fighters or Star Destroyers in orbit. Okay, we would need somebody like the Emperor to go. Yes, the boss is wrong with you. No, it's not going to
You
happen.
got me to do that. You don't need any of that.
Yeah, it would take a particular kind of conqueror to take over Earth to take on all these problems. Okay,
It would be a special kind of guy in a special ed kind of way.
right? They would have
You
to
know?
love torture. We're being attacked by S&M aliens. Sure.
I
Sure.
gotta check my front through the black car and
Right.
Tom, come in here and get some coffee. It's cold out there.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everybody. This has been the Quantum Show on the heels of fake disclosure right here. Keeping it quantum, and I'm going to go ahead and start.
Love you guys.
What?
Bye.
We're pushing buttons.
There you
Pushing
go. That's it. Pushing buttons.
All
Pushing
Nathan's
all the
buttons. Just push.
Oh, push my buttons. Push my buttons. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good. There we go. There we go. Aussie's back up to bat. There we go.
Shut
Pushing
up,
buttons.
Let me push the buttons.